Ddraig. Ddraig is one of the two heavenly dragons and the arch-rival of Albion. He is called the Red Dragon, known as the Welsh Dragon, Ddraig Goch, Red Dragon Emperor and Red Dragon Emperor of Domination, who resides within the Longinus, boosted gear, wielded by Issei Hyoudou. He is feared among the angels, fallen angels, devils and the various other factions in the world for his destructive powers, which are said to be able to kill both gods and satans. Appearance. Ddraig is a dragon with the appearance of a large red western dragon, with a long neck and green eyes, described as red in Volume 2. He also has red and golden spikes throughout his body. Personality. Ddraig's personality has changed a great deal as time has passed. At first, he had a great deal of pride in himself, though he admits that he had an intense rivalry with Albion, the other heavenly dragon. Since that time, he has become somewhat depressed because of the fact that he has become known as the Issei Dragon and the Breast Dragon Emperor. Ddraig even requires counseling and medication because of it. Ddraig has shown that he cares a great deal about his current host, Issei, as much as Albion cares about Valley, despite the fact that their hosts are the ones responsible for their demeaning nicknames. He has also shown that he really likes his current lifestyle, which doesn't involve fighting his rival every time they meet, but knows that there will eventually be a time when he and Issei must fight Albion and Valley. It also noted that he has an extremely high level of intelligence and is also wise enough to give advice to others, especially to Issei, as he can tell all things about mythological things just like Azazel. Although he and Albion are powerful enough to challenge gods and satans, they both agreed to avoid fighting evil dragons, claiming that they are more brutal than other dragons. History. In the past, Ddraig was a fearsome dragon known to have powerful flames that can incinerate anything, including gods, and will never go out till they burn the opponents to ashes. Ddraig eventually met Albion, who was immune to his flames. Happy to meet someone who can rival him, Ddraig sealed his flames and started to compete with Albion to improve themselves, developing techniques such as boost and penetrate, and both eventually became famous as the two heavenly dragons. During their many battles to improve themselves, both the heavenly dragons rampaged in the realm of the dead. Ddraig also fought against Grendel and Nhggr at an undisclosed time in the past. Before the start of the Great War, Ddraig had borrowed some of Tiamat's legendary treasures for his upcoming battle with Albion. At one point, while continuing his battle with his arch-rival, the vanishing dragon, Albion, which was interrupted by the angels, devils, and fallen angels who were at war during the time. In anger, both dragons attacked the leaders of the three factions, which led to their bodies being destroyed and their souls being sealed into two separate sacred gears, with Ddraig being placed inside the Longinus sacred gear, boosted gear. Tiamat's borrowed treasure was left to be stolen and scattered across the world. Since then, she has been chasing after Ddraig and his hosts for a long time in order to retrieve her stolen treasure. However, Ddraig always detected her presence and asked his hosts to run away. This was because he could not return her treasures and felt that he would be chased for it. Over the centuries, Ddraig has met with countless hosts possessing his sacred gear, some of whom have faced off against possessors hosting Albion's spirit to continue the dragon's long-lasting rivalry, up until his current host, Issei Hyoudou. Relationships. Main characters. Issei Hyoudou. Ddraig gets along very well with Issei, addressing him as partner, but later on when everyone starts calling him the Issei Dragon, he becomes extremely depressed, to the point of crying, due to his reputation being demolished little by little. He has taken a great interest in Issei and admires his courage and tenacity, as well as the fact that he works hard and protects those that he cares about. He was with Issei when he died and he was devastated to the point that he cried and told Ophis that he was the greatest possessor of him, although he later returns from the dimensional gap along with Issei. Even when Euclid Lucifuge offered him a more powerful host by joining him, Ddraig quickly rejected his offer, saying that he wants to remain with Issei despite gaining the Issei Dragon nickname and being the weakest of his past hosts, because he's a better host than all the others. Rhys Gremory. While there is a very small amount of interaction between the two, Ddraig has shown to have some degree of concern for her well-being, as he warned her to leave Issei when he was about to enter Juggernaut Drive to fight Shalba Beelzebub, as the power and destruction from that form would kill her. The reason behind this though is most likely due to Draig's knowledge that Issei cares deeply for Rhys. Ravel Phoenix. Ddraig is shown to respect Ravel as Issei's tactician, as he was willing to follow her strategies during the Azazel Cup. Dragons. Albion. The other heavenly dragon and Ddraig's arch-rival. The two of them fought each other in the past, which resulted in both of them being sealed in sacred gears. After so many years of fighting each other, both directly and through their hosts, both Ddraig and Albion have forgotten the reason as to why they started fighting, nor do they feel their usual antagonistic feelings for each other, which is most likely due to their current hosts. However, both realize that the battle between their hosts will happen eventually. Ironically, the two have become closer due to the fact that they both have gained derogatory nicknames from the actions of their hosts. Both of them cry due to their broken pride, and each tries to comfort the other. Tannin. At one time, he was a dragon king and knew Ddraig before he was sealed. He is shown to have an amicable relationship with Tannin as Tannin helped train Issei. Tiamat. Ddraig has mentioned that Tiamat hates him. In the past, Ddraig had borrowed Tiamat's treasure for his upcoming battle with Albion, only to lose it when he got sealed into boosted gear. Since then, she has been chasing after Ddraig and his possessors for a long time to retrieve her stolen treasure. Although Ddraig is a heavenly dragon, Tiamat's anger is strong enough to make him cower in fear, as he cannot retrieve the treasure in his current state. Fafnir. Ddraig doesn't seem like he wants to associate with Fafnir due to his perverted nature. As revealed in Volume 15, when Issei asked Ddraig about what he thinks of the Panzer Dragon King, he responded by saying that he didn't see anything. Ophis. Ophis at first only got curious to Draig's change from red to crimson, but due to a series of events and with the help of Issei, they eventually became friends. Great Red. Great Red and Ddraig have shown to communicate with each other and also work together to save Issei's life. Grendel. Since their first and second meeting to one another, Ddraig doesn't seem to like Grendel very much. And knowing the fact that Ddraig sees him as a more brutal, crazy, and wicked dragon than he was in the past, he became furious and a bit angry after meeting Grendel for such a long time, causes Grendel to return these feelings. NHGGR. In the past, they have seemed to know each other, but like Grendel he hates and dislikes him very much, to the point that he mentioned his name in a light yet with anger toned. Issei Hyoudou. Although the two don't meet in person, they know each other. Ddraig admits to Issei that he would prefer not to engage a fight with the deranged evil dragon. Issei Hyoudou knows him and Albion very well and calls them by their original names, which they had discarded in the last 2,000 years. Powers and abilities. Immense strength. As one of the heavenly dragons, Ddraig has immense power, surpassing the dragon kings, the four great Satans and God, surpassed by the dragon gods. Azazel stated he'd surpassed the three strongest evil dragons, even Crom Cruch, before his training. It took the three factions allying together to kill the heavenly dragons, both of whom would have been among the top 10 strongest beings. Once resurrected, his strength overpowered Apollon, defeated Typhon, then fought Crom Cruch, who was said to have surpassed Ddraig. He then fought and overwhelmed the fake Albion, who was said to be above Dragon King. Immense durability. In Volume 25, Typhon's powerful lightning storm was unable to inflict any damage at all. Ddraig was also able to repel Apollon's light just by wrapping himself in his aura and flapping his wings. Ddraig also endured Crom's vicious and powerful attacks, even though the evil dragon is said to have become stronger than him. Doubling and transference, one of the powers he developed during his rivalry with Albion. Ddraig is known for his ability to multiply his own powers and transfer that multiplied power into another being or object. Penetrate, another one of his original powers, which allows Ddraig to penetrate through all defenses. He has greater skill than Issei, infusing it into attacks, but experienced opponents can distinguish them from normal attacks. Such attacks could be used to bypass his opponent's attacks. Fire Breath. Ddraig can use the standard dragon breath, although more powerful than normal dragons, capable of covering the entire sky, he can enhance it with boost and penetrate as demonstrated during his battle against Typhon. Blazing Inferno of Scorching Flames, Ddraig's finishing move and ultimate flames, which can incinerate almost anything until nothing remains, as well as being almost impossible to extinguish. However, the only ones these ultimate flames are ineffective against are Albion, Great Red, and Ophis. Ddraig sealed this ability after meeting Albion. He later regained the ability, but will only use it in special circumstances out of concern that the undying flames will cause massive collateral damage. Welsh Dragon Flare, a technique which he developed after observing his current host, Issei, where he breaths out a massive amount of flames able to cover an entire island. Dragon Aura. Ddraig can release a tremendous and dense dragon aura, befitting a heavenly dragon, being one that is much stronger than Issei's Diabolos dragon, making the air around him feel cold from the presence alone. It can be doubled more from using boost, as well as releasing aura bullets, like Issei's Dragon Shot, which can be imbued with Penetrate. Both allowed him to damage Apollon and Crom Cruch, who surpassed Heavenly Dragon class. Soul Transferal. Ddraig has the power to transfer the souls of other beings into other vessels. This was shown when he transferred Issei's soul into his armor and then into the vessel made from Great Red's flesh after Issei's original body was destroyed. Telepathy. Ddraig can communicate through people, such as when he uses telepathy to communicate with Issei, Albion, Azazel, Rias, and other dragons. Keen Intellect. Ddraig is a very wise dragon, as he can easily teach Issei how to properly utilize and control his hidden and new powers. He is also knowledgeable enough to tell Issei the relationships and history of the 2 heavenly dragons, the other powerful and active dragons such as Great Red, Ophis, and the 5 great dragon kings, as well as information regarding the mythological worlds. Flight. Being a dragon, Ddraig can fly using his wings. If you want to support me, check out my Patreon at https://www.patreon.com/Kaioshin. I tend to polls that decide important plot stuff in my P at Trian. Many thanks to my awesome patrons. Ben Phillips.
If you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later, bye bye.